Holy moly. This is a reflection of the first day. For those of you that are new here, my name is Kristen Langford and I am a pre-K teacher in Florida. And I just finished my first day, not first day ever teaching, but you know, the first day of school in a brand new school. That's pre-K to 8th grade, and we survived. Okay, so I figured this is just gonna be literally me rambling, but I think it'll be good for a lot of people to hear. It's the reality check, right? So I'm just gonna walk you through what our day was planned to be and what our day actually was, and you know, go from there. So I will say that the first part of the day it started off right as planned. We allowed parents to walk their students to class, which for the past 2 years we have not really allowed. So the 2 years that I've been in pre-K, I haven't really experienced that. Not that it's any different than if I taught other grades, but nonetheless. So I was a little anxious about maybe parents lingering and then kids crying to have to say bye to mom and dad and stuff like that, but that didn't happen, so that was really good news. No parent really lingered. They came in quickly, helped their kids kind of unpack, made sure like we knew how they were going home, and we're on their way. Our day opens, like our car line, I guess, starts at 7:40, which is 30 minutes later than my other school, so that made my morning a lot easier with my own personal children, so that was a good day. But anyway, so they could start coming in at 7:40 and they just like slowly trickled in, and then the bell rings at 8:10. But here's where everything got a little first day crazy. The car line was not done by 8:10. We were supposed to go to breakfast at 8:15. Obviously it was like the older kids were gonna be out of breakfast by 8:10, and then we would go. And I didn't wanna go down there with all the older kids in there, so we like waited, and then we were waiting on kids to still get here. So by the time that we got to breakfast, it was closer to 9 o'clock. So when they came in, my plan was just like table toys and go to the bathroom and then clean them up and walk to the cafeteria. Obviously that took forever, so some of the kids were kind of getting a little bored with the table toys, but they stayed in their area and they played with the toys. We only had like 1 or 2 that struggled a little bit to stay in their designated area. But in years past, I've had kids that like literally get up and go start and play in kitchen, you know, and so we didn't have any of that yet in the morning, you know, later in the day we did. So the other problem that we ran into was we only have 1 bathroom, which we did at the other school too, but the classroom next door was younger kids, and so they didn't really use the bathroom as often, so we were able to like share a bathroom. But at this school, as you saw, like it's an opening there, and we could share, but they're using it. They have a full class of kids that are potty trained, so they're using their bathroom, we're using ours, and it just kind of takes a while, and then they're like washing their hands and everything's new, so they don't know how to push the water thing down or how to get the soap out. So bathroom took a long time too. We did not have them unpack any of those type of procedures like majorly. We kind of showed them where their cubby was and stuff during the morning. Yeah, so then we did teach them the procedure, 2 procedures. We taught them the pre-K pause, which I learned from TikTok. I kind of forget his name, but I'm sure you guys know. You can tag it down below, but he's so funny. So we did that last year, pre-K pause, and then the kids would say pre-K pause, and they had to have their hands out. So we taught that procedure to get their attention. And then the second procedure that we taught was we used the doorbell for cleanup. So I rang the doorbell and I said, oh, we hear that, you know, now it's time to clean up your toys. It's just so many things that you forget about, like everything's so routine. Like I know, but it's just, ugh. So anyways, we rang the bell. What I'm talking about is we told them to clean up, right? So they start putting their toys in, and then I had to tell them, okay, now you stay at your seat. I know you clean the bucket, but we don't get up and just go away, you know? And so then I said, you gotta wait for your name. And I had a couple kids like get to put the bucket away, and obviously that takes forever because I can't just be like, put the bucket away. I gotta teach all those kids how to hold the bucket, where the bucket goes, things like that. So a couple kids did that, and then we had them line up, which is a whole nother new procedure. I know if you teach pre-K, you get it, you feel me. Everything takes so much longer than it probably should. So anyways, I can't believe I'm like 5 minutes into this video and I'm still not even at breakfast. I'm gonna go, it's gonna get better. Okay, So we lined up, you know, we tried to keep them corralled. One pair was like, okay, you stay here. And I'm like getting this kid. We also had a few kids that at that point were over it and they're not gonna stand in line. Obviously, they're like, I'm done with this. I'm gonna go find all these toys. So we got one pair chasing that kid around to make sure they don't hurt themselves and everything's like good. They're not dumping out buckets. Eventually, we all got in line and then it's like, oh yeah, holding doors. Like, okay, you're gonna be a door holder and you gotta hold the door at the corner. You gotta push your body back and then, oh, we're walking in a line. We gotta stay on this side, not like a big zigzag. But honestly, I will say out of this group, a lot of them must have been in preschool before or like something over something like a daycare because the line wasn't that bad. There was like 2 or 3 that didn't really understand the concept, like 2 that had hand, you know, were holding their hands. And then there was like 2 others that they would just get distracted and like cut ahead of somebody, but we redirected and it was fine. So then we walk all the way to breakfast and then we get in line and they needed like the student numbers. So I had to pull that up on my phone and luckily the kids didn't have to type it in, but we gave them the student numbers. We all sat down and you know, they don't know how to open anything yet. We're helping them, but we're trying to teach them so they can learn to do it themselves. So we're going through all of that. We had a little spill. We have the cutest little tables. They're like circle tables and there's only 2 of them. So we had one whole class at one and one at another and it was just like, it was tight, you know, like we fit, no teachers fit, we had all stand, but it was just tight. So of course, like something spilled, things like that. We survived. So then we cleaned up, we came back, we did some more bathroom, and then I had them on the rug and we didn't even go over our class agreements. Here's where the plan goes, wow, which is typical of day 1. So the plan was go over the class agreements, do a morning song, then another circle time we were gonna go over the class agreements again, and like, they weren't ready for that yet, you know? So we came in, we did a morning song on the fancy board, which super fancy, but it keeps cutting out. So it would be like singing a song and then we would do something else and then it would like lose connection. And the process to get it reconnected is kind of a thing, like a big thing. So I need a cord for that because the Wi-Fi, I don't know. So anyways, we did our morning song, we danced, they like loved that, of course. And then after that, instead of doing class agreements, we talked about green choice, red choice, because in the morning with table toys, we had a couple kids who, you know, weren't sharing or they were like being rough with the toys and they didn't break, but you know, they could break. So we kind of went over some of those choices and I have that, let me show you. I like taped it right there so we could all see it. I had student like volunteers like, ooh, this is what green choice means. This is what red choice means. Like, what do you think a green choice is? What do you think a red choice is? And they did really well. They know right from wrong. And green choice, red choice, by the way, is from Pocket of Preschool. And I definitely use that. I think it's a great visual. There's so many little visual cards that go with it. They were able to like really see some ideas. I picked out, like there's a million things, but I just picked out a couple of them to go over, the ones that we had seen, like teachable moments, you know? And then we discovered that one of our students can read because she just started reading off what the green choices were and we were like, okay then. Actually, she started reading the smart board first. She was like, it says Miss Linkford needs to connect, or I don't even remember what she said, but she read it and we were like, what? So she's very well behaved too. Okay, so we went over green, red choices, yada yada. And then we transitioned from there and we did our first day hats, which was a whole nother thing because we had to teach the procedure of like where your table is, like where your crayon buckets are. I could show you that too. We're just using these little bins right here with their names on it and every kid had one. So then we brought them all their buckets and put it on the table and then they colored, and obviously that keeps the attention of some children longer than others because they're not really that interested in it. And then we made them into hats, and as they were finishing up with that, we let them play in some place centers. Here's another part of the plan. So my plan was a para can be in each place center that we open. Like if we opened kitchen, a para could like be in the kitchen with them, like kind of going over rules, like, oh no, we're gonna share that, or this is, oh, let's make some eggs, like here's the egg, whatever. But at that point, our room looked like a bomb blew up in here, you know, like school supplies everywhere. So we like let them, we're like, you know what, you can play, you got this. We opened up cars, and we opened up like plastic animal dinosaurs, and we opened up kitchen, and we opened up puzzles, and they did very well with it. There was some disappointment, obviously, with everyone wants to go into the kitchen, and we can't have that many kids in there, you know, but they got over it. They still want to play. And then we discovered that two of our friends that were kind of wandering the classroom all day, trying to, you know, get them, corral them, we discovered that they liked dinosaurs and they liked those plastic bugs, so they actually sat on the rug and like played with it, and we were, whoo, we got to, you know, go through the binders and go through the pull-ups and the wipes and the school supplies everywhere, you know, so we did that for a little bit. Okay, but then they only played for like 20 minutes and it was already time for lunch, even though we had just gotten back from breakfast. So weird. You know, like I said, they were going to the bathroom and stuff. We had to figure out whose lunchbox was whose, and the whole class brought a lunchbox. So that was a perk because we didn't have to deal with the lunch line. One student, the mom wanted her to go through the lunch line as well as her lunchbox, so that was no big deal. So anyways, we went back, and then that small table was even smaller with all the lunch boxes, but they got the routine already after just being there for breakfast. So then we ate and we came back, and at that time, my VPK students, some of them are half day. I have 3 kids that are half day, and so they were ready to leave. So we had pre-packed them up while they were playing. So they just came back, the other kids sat on the rug, and I just helped them get all their stuff together, and then I took them out, and my 2 paras stayed in here and let the kids like pick another play center since they only got to go to one beforehand. So then they played again with a different play center, and they did fine with that. And then after that, we just noticed that like some, you know, they were getting a little cranky. We did bathroom and stuff like that, and we laid down the mats. And then we turned the lights off, got the blankets out. We have so many, I'll have to show you another day because I literally can't get up, I'm so sorry. But we have so many, they're kind of like sleeping bags. They like roll up and they have a pillow attached. They are very nice. And everyone stayed on their mat. Not everybody slept. I think we had, yeah, 3 kids I think that didn't sleep, but they stayed on their mat. One student needed a little toy to help him, you know, stay on his mat. But overall, it was good because we were able to get things done. We had to, you know, pat a few backs and stuff to let them fall asleep, but they slept and we were able to breathe. I probably should have ate during that time, but I didn't. I kept getting their to-go, like go-home binders ready and still going through supplies and just like cleaning things up and making sure everything's like organized, all that. So yeah, so then they napped, and then when we woke up, that's new because usually when we wake up at my other school, we just go home. But this time when we woke up, we still had like 45 minutes left of the day, and like obviously that includes packing up and stuff, but like waking them up really took a while. A lot of them were like heavy sleepers, and so we had some crying and things like that. So we woke up, but you know the way to little kids' heart? Food. So we woke up and we had snack. Actually, one of the students that, the one that wanders the classroom, he wandered the classroom when he wasn't sleeping and found his goldfish that were in his cubby. So that's why we had snack. We were like, oh, he's hungry, let's just eat. That's a great idea. So we sat down, we ate whatever snack was left in their lunchbox, kind of let them wake up a little bit. And then I probably should have like read a book or something academic, but they were not in it. I was not in it. I was like, we're surviving today. And we had another play center. They got to go to 3 play centers today. And that was good too, because there were some kids that didn't get to go to kitchen yet. And I don't, you know, they really wanted to go. So we were able to get everybody through to kitchen today. And yeah, and then it was like dismissal time. Overall, success. But I just feel like this video is helpful because shout out to Leslie. She's the one that like found me, and I've been, you know, chatting with her about her new position in pre-K. But I gave her my lesson plans and I was like, they're very basic. You know, I think what I wanted to do today that I didn't get to do was go over the class agreements, and then I wanted to read Llama Llama, Mrs. Mama, but we're gonna read that tomorrow, and that's okay. And I kept telling her, survive, like play all day if that's what you need to do to get through. You have so much time to get them in procedures that, you know, you want them to be in a classroom and they're learning and stuff, but the first day, it's okay. They're still little, it's fine, let them play. Slowly do one activity at a time. Even if you have to do like small groups, pull some kids over to go over procedures, whatever. Survive. The best thing about day 1 is to feed them and get them home. That is your biggest priority for the first day of school. So that's it. I can't even believe I'm still smiling because mentally I'm drained. I did finally eat at like, I don't know, 3:30. I ate like a leftover Chick-fil-A biscuit, even though I had a lunchbox with food in it, but you know, that's what sounded good. I had coffee. One parent did bring me coffee this morning, so I think that's why I kind of didn't feel that hungry. It's not good for you. I don't recommend it at all. But yeah, I had 2 cups of coffee today and a Chick-fil-A biscuit. Don't take that advice. But if you like this video, please give it that big thumbs up, click that subscribe button and that notification bell, and I'll be back with videos all year long about what we're doing and how we're transitioning out of all the play and more some academics with play, you know? And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.